Yeah, my problem big, but I know God way bigger. Woo, yeah, my problem big, but I know God way bigger.
What's up?
Hi.
It's been a while since we've done a video, so we thought we'd give everybody an update on what's been going on with us.
Yes.
People keep asking about shirts and all this stuff, so we thought we'd hop on, create a little video, and give everybody an update. So the last video we made, besides my cancer anniversary video, was us with the video of our results that the transfer didn't work. And it was our fourth time trying, and so we were just we didn't know what we were gonna do, so we just kind of left it at that. So we've been taking time really to process and take it all in. We had a consultation with the doctor like a few weeks after that.
Basically, he didn't really give us any other new information that we didn't kind of know, and like figured that it wasn't that big a deal anyway. So nothing new, I guess, and pretty much as far as what the doctor consulted us with. So, yeah. So we kind of just decided to kind of open up our path a little bit wider into different ways that we can grow our family and not just put it all on doing embryo transfer and that was it. So we reached out to various people just to talk about their experiences and some that have similar stories to us, some that don't have similar stories that but still had infertility struggles or just struggles in general to have a family, and came to the conclusion that we are open to trying whatever is out there. And so I was able to talk to a friend that was referred to us that had gone through the foster into an adopt journey, and had a really great conversation with her on the phone, well over an hour. It's really helped me understand a little bit more about that process and how it worked for her, and just the reality of what that is and what that may look like for us, and what it looked like for her, and just gave me a lot more information, a lot more to think about, which helped open up my heart to potentially doing something like that. And so when I brought the idea up to Scott, we talked about that a little bit more, and so I reached out to her contact that she gave me to find out more information. So it's basically just from that point on, just gathering information, gathering as much of that we could get, so that we were making the right decision. My whole thoughts going forward was just like, I want to make sure I'm making the right decision, because I kind of struggled with thinking that I wasn't making the right decision after failed attempts with our previous situation. So the more information I could get, the better, and the more information I think Scott could get, the better too he would feel about it. So we ended up doing a Zoom meet orientation type thing with an agency that does foster to adopt, matched adoptions, and kinship, and those kinds of things. And so once again gave us a lot of information on even what those terms mean. And so after talking about it a little bit more, we decided to go ahead and try it. We downloaded the application and stuff that we had received from this agency and went through it. And yeah, it's a really it was like it was a lot of paperwork.
I mean, the reason we came, like the reason she met this lady was I think a couple weeks after the failed attempt, I texted my pastor and asked if I could meet with him, just because we were just lost, we didn't know what to do. So we're just looking for some guidance, really, not really any answers. So I met with him, and basically what she just said, I told him, that we talked, and she wanted me as well to go meet with him just to get some, I guess, direction on just guidance and stuff. And so I just said, we're open, like we don't know what we're doing, we feel like we keep making the wrong decision, it's not happening for whatever reason, God knows that, but maybe he's leading us in a different direction, we just need to be open to it. And so I just kind of said, just laid it all out. I said, we're tired, mentally, emotionally, financially. I said, we don't know what to do anymore. I said, we want a family. We would love to have a family, whatever that looks like. And I said, tons more people than I do, tons more resources. So I said, whatever you have, if you don't mind, just throw them our way. And that's how she got in contact with that lady, is through him. He made that connection happen. So they've been talking, and like she said, we did the orientation, and then we decided, let's try it. And so during this time, it was kind of weird because little small stuff was happening to us, showing us this is the path we were needing to take right now. So during all this time, she gets a message from this lady through Facebook. There's a lady in our small group. She's a OBGYN? OBGYN doctor. So one of her patients was going through what we're going through. Husband has cancer, kind of the same story. It's just kind of a weird situation because not a lot of guys are not really the reason why most of the times, for having trouble getting pregnant. So anyway, she was wanting to meet other people or knew if anybody, and so she told her about us, and so she found these videos and got through contact through Vanessa on Facebook. So they've been talking through Facebook for a month, something like that.
For a little while.
For a while.
Mm-hmm, for a little while.
And so they're talking, and all that's going on. They've been through the adoption process and the heartache of that, and failed IVFs, and so kind of similar to our stuff, but they've been through a lot more in a sense, I guess, in some areas.
Just a different path.
Just a different path, but very similar.
Similar. Why they
emotions and why they're there and all that stuff. Yeah. And so we do this orientation. We're like, all right, let's just let's try it out. What do we have to lose? We kind of feel like this may be the path we're needing to take. So every Saturday we go have coffee at Dwell in Burleson, Saturday morning. And for whatever reason, we were just late going that day. I think because I was sleeping in. I like to sleep in on Saturdays, so I didn't get up till 10:30. So we get up, then we go to Dwell, and we have the applications there. So we're just like, well, let's just try to fill it out, because I mean, it's they want to know everything, which we totally understand and get, but it's time consuming. It's a lot to go through. So while we're filling out the application, we hear this voice say, "Hey, Vanessa," and I just think it's a friend that she knows. Well, it's actually that lady that she's been talking with on Facebook that got referred to by our friend, the doctor. So she comes over to our table and we start talking. Her husband's there, and then I think we talked for at least an hour, just at the coffee shop, sharing stories and just an instant connection because we've been going through the same thing. So it was just kind of like, all right, and they didn't know a lot about what we were doing, the foster, maybe to adopt or anything like that. So we were telling about we're just sharing different stories and ideas and really just kind of venting to each other, which was nice. And later that day we go to church. We go on Saturday nights. We just like going on Saturday nights. It's more laid back, chilled. When we're leaving church, this lady stops me that works at the church or volunteers at the church, telling me about her son. She shared my story with him, and so we're just talking, and I see this lady out of the corner of our eye just waiting, waiting for us to finish our conversation. I think she's waiting to speak with her because she's part of the church and maybe she has a question about something. So as soon as we finish our conversation, I'm walking out, like we're gonna leave to go to the door, and she stops us, saying, "Hey, can I speak with you real quick? Can I stop you again?" So I'm like, "Sure." And she's like, "I heard you speak about a year and a half ago to the crew kids on Wednesday night. It was very powerful, all that stuff." And then she's like, "I want to see if you would help the kids that I work with and come speak with them and maybe do a sports type camp." I'm like, "Cool." So I'm thinking of school or something. And then she's like, I work with foster kids. And as soon as she says foster kids, I kind of do this. And then I look at Vanessa. And Vanessa just starts bawling, like just because we both could feel like God was like, this is kind of the path that y'all need to take. So she starts bawling. The lady feels bad. She's like, "Oh my God, what did I say?" I was like, no, this is like a sign for us. Like, it's kind of we're just overwhelmed because we've been praying and asking for direction, having hope and all that stuff. And then just in that day, all this stuff's happening. And so, long story short, we filled out the application that weekend, got all our papers together, everything we needed to submit it. We submitted it on Tuesday. They do a meeting every Wednesday to go over the applications. And Thursday, we found out that we got accepted. So they accepted us as a potential
Foster family.
Foster family.
Foster parents.
So we were pretty excited about that because we didn't know because part of their process is if you've been through something traumatic, whether it be a death in the family, just any life-changing things, and part of that is fertility treatments. And we just had a fertility treatment in August, and yeah, it was tough for us, but we made the case. We've been through it before. We knew this was probably a potential outcome of it not working. And we said we were just more at peace about this time just because we were making these videos. We wanted to give hope to people. So I said, even though it didn't work, yeah, it sucks and it was hard, but we feel, we were at peace about it. And I don't know if it was these videos because we told them about the videos and we told them, it's hard for us to sell ourselves on paper, but I actually talked to the guy on the phone and we just kind of pleading our case that this is something we just feel God's leading us to, and just telling everything that was happening, just being very transparent and open about it. And the next day he said they want you guys, they really love you guys. So we start training in January. We have to go through training, so we start training in January. They don't do it in November and December because of the holidays, so more waiting. We have to wait more.
That's
which
one
is
thing
fine.
we've learned is patience. For sure, through all of this, waiting and being patient and just being confident and trusting in God's timing, for sure. So, there's another waiting, but maybe that's good for us to get us prepared mentally, get us prepared, with the home physically for potentially having kids come stay with us. So even though it is more waiting, I think it's probably for the best, of course. So we are very excited about it, nervous because it's something new and it's a new adventure. And but you guys just remember that I always kind of tell myself this, like, we, through the whole process from the embryo transfer stuff till now, I mean, if you think about it, we never planned on necessarily, or that we were going to have our own biological kids. So whether or not I was going to have it physically, or a child coming from a different family that was already born, I mean, we're going to, we were prepared and knew in our hearts that we were going to be taking care of a child that wasn't our flesh and blood necessarily. So I think this is just a different way that we're going to be doing that. And did I see that? No, when I first started all this out. But like I said, I think probably all of this time has really taught us a lot and helped us grow. So even though, of course, we wanted it to work out the very, very first time, there was a reason. And so even though we're still trying to figure that out, we can't see it yet still. I think that, like Scott said, we're at peace at what's happening and what has happened. So, so there you go. I mean, January, we do training is for just to teach us about like the different things that can come up with, taking care of a child that's been through some kind of trauma. When we did our orientation, they did remind us that any child that is going through the system has been through some sort of trauma. And so, whatever that may be, they prepare us for that. And then, of course, you do some other training such as CPR, first aid training, those kinds of things that the state likes you to have. When we do get licensed, we are going to be licensed both for foster to adopt, because our ultimate goal is to adopt a child that we see will fit well with our family, our families. They also do a home visit. And if you guys don't know what that is, a home visit and a home study is they want to make sure that our home is fit to have a child here. And so even though that sounds kind of crazy to those that are like, well, why don't they do that to every home? They want what's best for the kids, and they want to make sure that they're not going to have to face any other type of trauma or something later on. So we understand that part. So it's not really a long process as far as once we start. They gave us they guarantee, and it's all dependent really on us, that we could be licensed in 90 days once we start training. So so that's pretty quick sounds like to me, as long as we get all of our stuff done that we need done there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because like she said, we really didn't see ourselves going down this path, but I think it kind of comes back to our faith has really helped us get through all this, after heartache after heartache and let down after let down and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's kind of one of those things where, and we've had people say, oh, y'all deserve to be parents, you deserve to get pregnant, and it's like, well, no, we don't. It's like, nobody really deserves anything. Like, at the end of the day, it's a gift. And so, even though we would really, really, really love to have our own kid, our own baby, I physically can't, and if God makes that happen, it'd be, that's all Him, if that does happen. And we believe in miracles, and, that's still a possibility. But we just feel it's not really what we want, but where is He leading us to? We've always felt like kids were part of our marriage, and even before we got married, we talked about kids. Like, no matter which way it was, biologically, embryo, adoption, whatever it was, we wanted a family. And so after the embryo thing, when we were just sticking to this one thing, putting all our eggs in that one basket, that's why we kind of say we're just more open. When we looked at straight adoption, it's just crazy expensive. Like, it's $30,000-$40,000. Like, it's crazy. Like, we don't have that. Mm-hmm. And it's not, mm-hmm. It's just, to me, it's sickening because I don't know. Mm-hmm. But mm-hmm. people make money off that, to me. But it's not easy. They don't make it easy.
They don't make this easy either. Let me just say, so it's not like this is something we've just decided because we can't necessarily do the adoption part. So don't get us wrong. This state does not make it easy, which is good. I mean, if you really think about it, because you don't want just any
You're protecting the kids
person to be doing that.
They're in the system for a reason, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So they're doing everything to protect the kids, which we totally get and respect.
And we also understand anybody who wants to just do straight adoption and is able to do that, because we have looked at that avenue as well. It's just financially for us, it didn't make sense, and so and that that's okay too. And I think there's, like I said, there's probably a reason for that. Um,
And it was a time too when we were looking into that. It was while we were on the waiting list to try this fourth embryo transfer. I reached out to a few couples that I knew. I mean, we didn't like hang out or anything, but I knew them through whatever. And I reached out to them via Facebook, social media, and said, "Hey, can me and my wife just talk to you guys just about y'all's experience with adoption and all that?" And they're like, "Yeah." But I never heard back from them, or it never got set up.
Never
And
panned
so
out.
it was frustrating because it's like, man, like it's almost like, well, I don't know. It was, why is this not happening? Why is this, it just felt like nothing was happening. And so looking back on it, it's like, well, maybe it wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Even though at the time it's frustrating. So it kind of goes back to, it's like, all right, it's not really what I want or what we want, but where do you want us? What are we supposed to be doing? And so looking at it more in that sense and being more open to things. I mean, that Saturday when everything just kind of like bam, 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 we're just like, it's kind of God going, hey.
Yeah.
Like, listen, this is it. So we're like, okay, God, like, all right.
It's definitely a confirmation.
And we heard about fostering, before we were tried the first time. And I think one of the things that we were, I guess, not really struggling with, but just like, I don't know if we could do this, is the attachment part. Because we know fostering, and they even talked about this in the training or the orientation, is fostering means temporary. Just because we get a kid, our first kid through for the foster care, doesn't mean that they're going to be up for adoption. We could have them for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and then at any moment when the judge sees fit that they're ready to go back to their parents, they're gone. And I mean, you having them for that period of time, you're going to get attached, because you're taking care of this child, you're caring for them. And so we've had, people we know like, man, I don't think I could do that. I don't see how y'all could do that with what y'all have already been through. But, talking to our pastor and just the people that she's talked to, it's like, if we do have, it's going to be hard if we, get attached to a kid and, we've taken care of them, and all of a sudden they got to go back to their family, which, it's great for them because they're going back to their family. But at the same time, it's, it could be hard for us, but we have to look at it in the sense that we're giving that child a good home, loving care, and all that stuff for that time. And that may be something that gives them that hope, when they do go back to be like, we gave them that experience for that whatever time period we have them. But like she said, our ultimate goal is to adopt. And so we just, if we got to have 5, 10, whatever, how many kids come through our home, to care for them, love them, for the time period we have until one comes up for adoption, we're game for it now. We're open for it, ready for it. So yeah, it's a little scary just because this is something new, and they're coming. You want to take care of the child, and it's not really your child. They could go back at any time, so you don't want to, do anything to put them in harm, which we wouldn't. But it's just like, this will be our first time having a child or a baby in our home, and so hopefully the training will make us a little more at ease, which they said, they'll be with us along the way. But it's something we're excited about at the same time, because we can start having those experiences and everything we've kind of visioned when we bought this house, because that one part of the room or one part of the house we don't really go to, because that's where we always envision children and babies and all that at that part. So we're getting that ready. We have a lot of stuff we'll have to get eventually, because we don't have anything right now, but
which I think they'll let us know kind of what we need. And then of course the resources that I've already made through other people that have been through it have been awesome in telling me that they're just ready whenever I'm ready to help me along and get the things that we need also. So any of you out there, if you've been through this and have some words of advice, feel free to just shout it out there, because anything we can get, any help as far as that, any experiences that you feel free to share, please do. And any other resources that you guys can think of. I know this agency I've heard is really great, and they're really, really good about helping out the parents as well. And so they have really great resources and stuff I know that we can go to. But I also like to hear some actual real personal experiences from you guys. So yeah, if you don't mind sharing those, that would be really awesome, whether it be to this YouTube channel or in either one of our pages on Facebook and stuff like that. We would love to hear from you guys. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about the shirts, because he's been designing them.
Yeah, well, I've been trying, and then she's like, so I'm like, oh. But yeah, we're thinking more long sleeve, but we're actually getting another long sleeve maybe tomorrow.
We're trying out the
Thursday.
fabrics.
We're trying out this website.
Yeah.
The reason we're trying out this website, I wanted to see if their shirts are like how we had or if their fabrics like the shirts that we had that you guys got, because everybody loved the fabric, which we love them too. That's why we bought them. Mm-hmm. But with this website, we're actually able to do more. Like we can post like hoodies, shirts, all this stuff, and get them for a lot cheaper price. But
which means
the cheaper price may be that the quality is not that great.
Yeah, so we want to make sure.
So that's why we want to make sure, because we don't want to ship you out a shirt and then you throw in a washer and then it's like half the size.
Yeah.
A few of the ones we got that we tried, we just didn't like them. Like the fabric, the print and all that came out fine. She's wearing the darker fonts. I'm going for a white font just because it pops out more, so we may do the white fonts, but like a grayish type shirt. Mm-hmm. But we're thinking just right now, just sticking to the long sleeve. And if this one comes this week and we don't like it, then we'll just kind of do what we did last time. Either way, we're probably still have to do a pre-order. So even if we don't like this shirt that's the shirt that's coming this week, if we don't like it, we'll probably just go with what we did before, the same company. And either way, we're going to have to do a pre-order. So my goal is to do a pre-order starting next week, first week of November. Get them up on our website, or her blog site, start doing a pre-order, and then do that for, like we did last time, for a week or two, and then get the shirts made, and it takes like a week to get them made. And we can get them out to you guys, and then that would be right in time for the holidays, Christmas, so if people wanted to buy them as gifts, all that stuff. So but until we kind of get this down, because we're doing all this on our own, and it'd be nice to have, access to print shops and all that, but it's just really hard to know how many shirts to get, the quantity, so that's kind of why we have to do a pre-order, because one, we have to upfront that money, and then we don't know what size to get, so that's why it takes a little bit, 2 or 3 weeks turnaround time. But once we kind of get the hang of it more, hopefully it'll be more options and whatever we want to put stuff on. But so yeah, they are coming. We keep getting messages about that, but we are doing this again. So, and the reason I picked this font, I know it's kind of crackly and all that stuff. It shows that more in the white. I know it looks all cracked and there's holes in it. The reason I picked this font is because to me it had meaning behind it. I wanted one that was kind of cracked and didn't look perfect or anything like that. And I kind of think that ties in not only to our story, but one, kind of how 2020 has been going, and just people in general. Everybody goes through their own situation. And so no matter how roughed up or how cracked or broken we may feel or inside, we still have hope. And you can still read hope, in this font when it's all cracked and beat up and you just feel beat down. So there's kind of meaning behind this font. That's why I picked the font. So when she first saw it, she's like, it's messed up, I can't read it. I was like, well, there's meaning behind it. So
still has a cross on it.
We still want it to cross, and we're iffy on the 2020 because, like she said, 2020 is almost over.
It's okay.
But
everybody, I think 2020 though, even if we have it wearing it next year, I mean,
2020's been a rough year
2020, everybody's going to remember this year.
It's been a rough year, yeah.
So, and then to put hope behind it, it's like, you know what? Even though we went through all that.
Yeah, you can
we still had,
and that, even though we're going down this new path, I mean, hope is still our big thing. So we're still wanting to spread hope to people. So yeah, shirts will be there. So yeah, we just wanted to give you guys an update. Hopefully we'll start doing more videos. That was kind of our whole goal with this, but give us grace. We kind of needed a little bit of time to process everything with, the last transfer not working, and just kind of getting back into the groove of things. And I think we're there, and moving forward in a new direction. So, hopefully we'll have more stuff going on.
Hey, maybe we'll have a fun video for Halloween.
Yes.
We're going to be dressed up.
We are going to be dressed up.
And we're going to do some pumpkin carving.
Any kid comes to my house, they're getting scared, straight up.
I will regulate that as best as I
Hey,
can.
you want some candy? You have to come get some candy.
Oh, they will, but anyway. But so we'll have maybe some
It'll be
videos,
fun.
some
I'm
fun
not
stuff
gonna,
with
terrify.
that for
I'm not
you
gonna
guys.
give them nightmares. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Hopefully
scary.
not.
It'll be fun.
But we'll be dressed up, so that'll be fun. And then, we're going to try to do some pumpkin carving. We usually try to do a pumpkin carving contest, which I win every year. Just saying.
I won the first year.
Well, after that, I bumped up the game a little bit. So, so anyway, we try to do a pumpkin carving contest, and we're going to try to do that again this year. So that'll be fun. He's not winning. Just telling you. I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing already. And I have my pumpkin already. Where's your pumpkin?
It's at the store. It's all right.
Okay. So, we're going to have some other fun stuff for you guys. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, more everyday living. But
Yeah.
I'll try to make these shorter too. But the reason these videos are so long because we haven't done a video in a while. But so
And he talks a lot.
Well, I think you talk more in this video.
Finally.
And people are probably like, "Man, Scott talks." I'm like, "Yes, I talk." Because you just got to talk to me, and I'll talk if you talk to me.
Same here.
Yeah, we're very introvert people. So
We can be.
all right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Bye.